Today I fucked up by helping a drunk girl get home okay. 22F. I work at a hotel bar in a large city. I worked a particularly slow day, and during those shifts I like to talk to the guests. One of them was a 22-year-old teacher who was traveling by herself and a guest of the hotel. I get cut early and I decide to go out for a couple drinks. At a bar nearby, I see the guest. She is very clearly drunk and proceeds to throw up all over the bar. Now this part of town is kinda known for sleazy guys, and she's by herself, so I take her back to the hotel and get her in her room safe before anyone can take advantage of her. I leave her my number to text me when she's awake to make sure she's okay, and she thanks me the next morning and explains she was blackout drunk and barely remembers any of the night. I thought that was the end of it until my boss pulled me into a room and proceeded to fire me for fraternizing with a guest. I explained that I only got her to her room safe and was worried because she was young and alone, but nope. I'm officially unemployed now. For helping a drunk girl get back to her hotel okay. Too long did not read. Got fired for helping a drunk girl get back to her hotel room okay. How is helping a clearly ill guest back to their room fraternizing? It's not like you were out drinking with the guest. If your hotel chain has a corporate office, I would escalate, assuming you actually want that job. What I'm curious about is how your boss even knew. Since you're unemployed, there's no harm in naming the hotel. You did the right thing. You won't have a problem getting a new job. Likely a better job too. Boo on your boss. Wrongful dismissal suit. I hear. No judge in their right mind would side with your boss. Call your boss company out for that. If anything, you are someone I would want working in a hotel I'm staying at. Time stamps from hotel security would place you in and out of their room shortly thereafter. Very unjust reason for employer to issue unemployment. I work as a manager at a hotel, and yes, sadly employees' action is usually considered frowned upon and illegal, but wholly that is shady of them to just dismiss you so quickly. I'd say if they wear that easily to let you go, you are better off and will find better employment. I'm sorry this happened to you, op. You did the right thing and commend this action you did fully. Thank you for being a good human being. OMG, that is really effed up. Can you get the girl to lobby for you to the hotel? There had to be some sort of recourse for you? Today I fucked up by stealing from my job. Edit. To everyone asking about Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. I don't post that information publicly, but would be happy to give it out in a PM. I'm not asking anyone for anything, simply adding this because gotten a lot of comments asking for such information. Thank you. Less than 3. Throwaway for obvious reasons. This actually happened yesterday. I, 19 female, was a server at a popular corporate restaurant that's famous for pancakes. We have other things, but pancakes are what we are known for. Yesterday afternoon, one of our newer servers accidentally rang in a kid's junior cheeseburger while trying to ring in a different kid's meal. As the food was coming up, she caught her mistake and told the cooks, went back to fix her ticket, etc. They pushed the kid's meal off to the side and everyone continued on about their day. About an hour later, I still see the kid's meal sitting in what we call the window. I asked my fellow servers and the cooks if it was dead, meaning cold, throw away, can't serve. They told me yes, so instead of throwing it away, I put it in a to-go box and put it in the fridge that we have in the server station. My plan was to bring it home to my daughter, 4 female. We've been struggling lately and this would likely be the only thing I could feed her for the day. I wrap up for the day, grab my kiddo's burger and catch the bus home. I greet my daughter, say bye to my sitter and warm up the junior cheeseburger. I bring it to my daughter and she's ecstatic, obviously. I leave her to her burger and Barbies and go to the living room to relax when my phone rings. It's my general manager. To make a long story shorter, she said that she saw on camera where I stole a meal and hid it in the fridge. I explained to her that not only was the food dead, but my daughter and I have been struggling extremely badly lately. She told me that's unfortunate, but nevertheless, it's corporate policy that what I did qualifies as stealing and as automatic termination. Tried to resonate with her to no avail, obviously. I get that I was wrong, but I really wish they didn't fire me for it. Just puts me in a shittier predicament. Whatever. I've thought about fighting it, but to who? I did take food that wasn't mine. But it was going in the trash anyway? I don't get it, but clearly, I fucked up. Too long did not read. I got fired from my job for bringing home a cheeseburger that was going to be thrown in the trash. Even after explaining my situation, it didn't make a difference. Can I even fight this? Camera reply forward. Everyone is hiring. Fuck IHOP. Take advantage of the workers' market and get on somewhere you are underqualified. Let them train you and make some real money. A news station might eat this shit up. Struggling mother fired over taking $5 worth of food home to hungry 4-year-old child instead of throwing it into the trash per company policy. This country has a huge problem with throwing away perfectly good food instead of giving it to the needy. Small stories like this can help to bring about incremental change. I worked at IHOP for 6 months last year. Worst kitchen I've ever worked in. Managers were the most uncaring people I had worked with. 24-hour store, no manager was ever in the building after 5 p.m. And then being there that late was rare. Every restaurant is hiring and looking for good workers. You can have a job today just by walking into most without a resume right now. But as a former restaurant manager, you should ask management first before taking dead food. Most have policies about no one taking it because people will mess up food on purpose to take home or eat for free. Those policies exist only to fire employees. I usually just told people to take it. What's the cost of a $5 meal to a multi-million-dollar store? As sad as this practice is, it is very common. I worked in many restaurants, especially higher-end ones. And that's a policy. Mistakes. Goes straight to trash sadly. Unless GM or head chef approves it to go to someone. And the reason, as unpopular and awful it might be and is so servers don't purposely have mistakes. I could understand this policy if a store is dealing with people always cooking stuff that hasn't been ordered just to claim it's dead so they can eat it, but this is just fucking stupid and wasteful. Yeah, find another server position. By the way, IHOP legally cannot tell a new employer that you were fired for stealing. They can only say that you worked there, and whether or not you're eligible for rehire. So if they sabotage your new prospects, speak to an attorney. I wish I had some advice, but all I can offer is that sucks. What a complete piece of trash that manager is. What's really fucked up here are the businesses that would rather throw away perfectly good food rather than give it to their employees. Money is the devil. I too used to work at that restaurant and stole food all the time. My manager was an alcoholic, so I pretty much had my way around there. Today I fucked up by leaving out a handmade dildo. Okay, so technically this happened 2 days ago, not today. Why didn't I post it 2 days ago? Because 2 days ago I felt like taking this embarrassing story to my grave. But today I'm feeling generous. For context, I'm a 21-year-old woman who has never even had a crush on someone, let alone dated or had sex with anyone. I do masturbate though. Usually I just flick the bean. But recently I got the idea to try putting something inside, since people seem to enjoy doing that. But I'm not about to go out and buy a dildo. So I used some air-dry clay I had on hand to make a small, smooth, penis-like object. Fast forward a bit. 2 days ago, I used it. Afterwards, I cleaned it up and left it next to the bathroom sink. And then I just walked away and forgot about it. Until my roommate came home. About my roommate. She is incredibly repulsed by anything sexual. She won't even wash her own vagina because she's worried she might accidentally masturbate. So anyway, she comes home, greets me, and then walks away. A few minutes later she comes to me looking uncomfortable and slightly terrified and goes, there's a phallic object in the bathroom and I don't know what to do. In my head I'm like, oh fuck, but fortunately I have a really good automatic poker face. I nonchalantly respond, oh right, I'll go get that, and as I grab it, I say, yeah, it's just something I made out of clay. My roommate immediately breathes a sigh of relief and says, oh good. I thought it was a dildo. I laugh as if the idea is preposterous. After that, things seem to go back to normal. I wouldn't say I dodged a bullet, but I think I got away with just being grazed. Too long did not read. I nearly traumatized my sensitive roommate, and myself, by leaving out a clay dildo I made. Edit. Don't worry guys, I threw out the clay dildo. Also, you don't have to keep commenting about clay being a bad idea. I get it and regret it. I'm more curious about the roommate. I get some people just aren't sexual, but to the point where they're afraid to wash themselves because of unintentional masturbation, which is impossible for the simple fact that it's an act that needs intent behind it, is pretty far out. My toilet started leaking in my old apartment while I was at work, was dripping into the apt below me. So I gave the okay for maintenance to go in and fix it without me there. When I got home I noticed they'd pulled back my shower curtain and there on the shelf in all its glory was my big purple dildo. I just laughed and thought, well, I guess they at least got a good story to tell. Woman shrugging, light skin tone. Your roommate needs medical help. Legit. As for you, op, there are plenty of websites you can purchase sex toys from, because you need to be careful what you use. It could severely damage things. That's why usually food-grade silicone is used for making sex toys. Just be careful and use condoms on your toy. It can save you some potential pain and suffering later. Please tell me you used a condom or similar and didn't put clay in your vagina. What type of shit show weird Amish Puritan shit did I just read? GIF. Giphy, OK27 Wind QS5YQ, downsized. Hopefully you glazed it because clay is porous. I'm worried about your roommate. Usually people aren't repulsed by sex to that extent unless something happened to them when they were younger. She should probably see a therapist. Singing, I have a little dildo. I made it out of clay. Today I fucked up by shocking the penis head of my fiancé. I don't know why, but I felt the need to share. Today I, F25, was laying in our guest bedroom office while my fiancé, M29, was working from home at the desk. I normally try to leave him alone, but there are many times throughout the day where we goose each other for laughs. Well, he took a break from work today and decided to pull his dick out and thought it would be funny if he started to a helicopter next to the bed. Naturally I went to put my mouth on it, and when I did, there was an audible snap and I felt a shock on my mouth. My fiancé fell back into his chair and yelled, "You shocked my dick." He had socks on, so I think when he was shaking his dick around next to me, he was building up a static charge? We ended up just laughing it off. But I kinda feel bad. Too long did not read. Went to put my mouth on fiancé's penis head. Static electricity got in the way. He creates a wind turbine and expects no energy? Wow, you really blew him away. You're a good woman that if you see a helicopter you immediately think your mouth should go on it. My girlfriend at the time once gave me a blowjob using pop rocks and one of the little candies popped in my penis hole. It was the most erotic moment of my life. I married her. I'm more impressed you were able to get it in the mouth while he was helicoptering it. Naturally I went to put my mouth on it. My wife would naturally punch me in the balls if I did that. I've been laughing for a solid 5 minutes at this. My sides hurt so much. Hope your fiancé is okay. And he was. THUNDERSTUCK.